When you think of networking, it's quite likely that you believe and have embraced at least one of the myths of networking. So in this video, we're going to get into 4 myths that people commonly believe about professional networking. We're going to debunk those myths and talk about what networking actually is. Let's get into it. Hey there, my name is Jeff Perry, leadership and career development expert, author of The Intentional Engineer, and author of the upcoming book, The Intentional Career Guide to Professional Networking. So for the next few weeks, actually, we're going to be talking about professional networking, why it's important, and some of the key aspects that we need to remember when we are trying to network and grow our network in the professional space. Now, I promised you that we were going to talk about myths. So we're going to dig into 4 key myths that a lot of people believe about networking because they misconstrue what networking is really about. So the first one I want to talk about is that networking is only for extroverts. We think that we have to have this bubbly, big, elaborate personality to be loud and exciting in order to connect with people, meet new people, and a lot of times we associate that with extroversion. And that's simply not true. Let's remember the basic, simple understanding that networking is really just about building relationships. And so in that case, introverts sometimes can be the best people to do that because they can really connect with people much more deeply, one-on-one or in small groups. You don't need to be in front of a huge crowd to have a great network. You just need to have some deep, meaningful relationships and be able to connect with people human to human. And that's really what it's about. So if you identify more on the introvert spectrum, it's okay. You don't have to be big and exciting and extrovert in order to have a great network. Myth number 2 that a lot of people tend to believe is that networking is inherently selfish and sometimes even manipulative. And that's simply not true. In fact, when we continue to embrace networking as relationship building, then we shouldn't be only seeking to network to get something out of other people, but we should also be seeking to give and contribute to these relationships and to our network and the people that we connect with. Can we help them connect with other people? Can we help them achieve their goals? Can we provide some insights or understanding or connections or resources or whatever that is that might be helpful to them? When we are givers, not just takers in networking, then our relationships will flourish much more strongly. And that connects also with myth number 3, and that's that we only really need to focus on our networking when we need something. A lot of times we think about networking when we need a job, or we're trying to network to make new connections if we're starting a business, or some other big professional goal that we have. And like, okay, tap into your network. Great. But the reality is that we need to be networking before we need it, so that when the moment comes, when we need to tap into our network, the network's already there. We're not starting from scratch. We're actually just leveraging these relationships that we've built over weeks, months, and years, and being able to utilize and call on not necessarily favors, but just, hey, we help them because we've been givers and contributors to those relationships, and therefore we're the kind of people that they want to help and support as well. And finally, myth number 4 is that networking is really all about events. A lot of times when we talk about networking, it's all about go to this networking event or conference or meetup or whatever that is. But it's not the only place that we do that, where we're handing out business cards and whatnot. Where networking really is about every single way that you interact with someone, whether that's in your current place of work, your community, your family, your friends. Certainly it can be events and other things that you go to, but also just the people that you connect with online. And we want to take from those online platforms, take the relationships off of those and turn those into real relationships where we can meet people in person or have a phone call or a video chat or whatever that is, so that we can say, hey, this is a person that I want to either start a new professional relationship with or grow or deepen a relationship with. And when you can do that and then find a way to expand and deepen that relationship, then good things can happen. So have you ever bought into any of these myths? If so, I invite you to let go of those and focus on the reality and say, hey, I can be a great networker, and it doesn't need to look exactly like maybe some of the ways that you've thought. And we can simplify this experience and say, how can I develop some more meaningful professional relationships? So I invite you to do that. If you want some more help, I've got a few more resources for you, including be on the lookout for my upcoming book, The Intentional Career Guide to Professional Networking, and a free resource I'm calling the Networking Action Plan. It's a free resource that can help you identify the top areas and actions you need to take so that you can grow your network. You can get that at intentionalcareerguide.com/networking plan. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks so much for being here. Hope you get those resources, and we'll see you on the next one.